In this episode, we have a co-founder and a CEO of a cutting-edge holding group advancing in the transportation industry with software payment gateways, data analytics, and so much more. He's an angel investor, an ecosystem creator with over 20 years of entrepreneurial experience and multiple exits under his belt exceeding 9 digits USD. He believes technology is a gateway to solving many inequalities, socioeconomic and urban issues. A real trailblazer, down to earth, straight shooting, hilariously funny gentleman. Jamil, welcome to the Fab Dixie podcast.
Thank you. Love to be here.
I'm so happy you are here. Trying to get you to just answer your WhatsApp is, I realized, a mission for me. So thank you for getting my perseverance back up in life again. I'm like, dude, this man is very difficult to locate.
I'm sorry about that.
But you're a busy man. I mean, the introduction in itself, I think, says a lot. That the motion of creating trends, creating the next level, creating magic. That's what you do.
I'm not doing anything alone. I have teams and people. Nobody can do anything alone but this.
I love that.
I'm not that organized.
Well, yeah, but you have the vision and you have the leadership and you have the way to bring people together. That's why I think you create such a beautiful community.
I hope so.
You do. I'm telling you, from someone who loves being in your energy and in your vibe, there's a let's say an enigma that you are and an energy that you exude. So you're attracting the right kind of people.
I
love
so.
it.
Thank you.
So let's get into it. Jamil, can you tell me what's been in your view, the hardest challenge you've had to overcome, and how did you overcome it?
Probably me. I know it's like a cliche.
No, it's so true, and often people don't say that.
I mean, if I live without regrets, but at the same time, if I look at me when I was younger, I wasn't just foolish, delusional. It was verging on the stupid. It's like I'm actually embarrassed by that, but I admit it. But at the same time, I can see the traces of it. I can't change who I am as well. So I have to own it, but then I have to trust in the people that I work with. I have to stay away when I'm not of value. It's not a game or a question of power. What do you perceive leadership is, or what does it convey to the outside world? Nothing of that stuff. I had a lot of issues actually working with some co-founders that I had in the past, where I discovered after creating a huge fight that I was wrong. And it's not easy to admit that, not just to yourself, but to them. So I don't know why, but I felt it's healthy to do so. I mean, overcoming oneself is actually a big challenge, and I don't think it stops ever.
I think it's a lifelong process because you're always evolving. So with every experience, you've learned something new about yourself, and it takes a lot. Honestly, for someone to not blame others, but take that responsibility upon themselves and be accountable for their actions, and then actually openly apologize, that takes a lot. A lot of people have not got the courage to do that, because you do have to say, you know what, I'm sorry. And owning up to that in itself, it's not a simple process to go through. So the fact that you've acknowledged it and you've actually gone through it, it says a lot that you're really striving to be a better version of yourself.
There is no excuse. I mean, you can change your location, you can change your attitude, you can change your direction, your ideas, not your values, hopefully, but everything else you can change. And if it doesn't work for you, just find something else that does. Not everybody is supposed to be a founder or an entrepreneur or an inventor, or different people are all to do different things, right?
Yeah.
So it's very simple. You want to live happy, or do you want to live rich? And the two are not the same. If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, if you're not following values, then your values, that's it. I have a friend of mine, Kanishka, and he actually articulated it in a really nice way. He said, it's very simple. Any decision in my life is very simple, because he used to procrastinate a lot. And when he was saying that, I'm like, okay, me too, actually. Any important decision needs thinking, not anymore. Why? Checklist, values, 1, 2, 3, 4, done. no thinking, easy. So you have to know yourself really well to know your values. You know your values, you know your priorities, you can decide easily on anything. Even that you can't see the next thing ahead, but you'll be able to actually, with assurance, you are doing the right thing.
Yeah, it's just those values. If you understand what they are for yourself, they will be your guidance, your compass, if you like. They will tell you whether this is the right co-founder, this is the right investor, this is the right project even, to see if that's the right match for you. And I think that's where sometimes people make the wrong mistakes. They go based on what they have been told, this is the right person to partner with, or this is a good project based on the numbers, but it's not aligned to them. And if it's not aligned to your values, what are you doing this for? What's the end goal? And I think that's where a lot of people don't have those conversations with themselves to begin with. Powerful, very powerful. So can you walk me through when you hit some tough times? What do you say to yourself? How do you get yourself out of that funk? Obviously, you've done so many different ventures and not all of them are going to be successful. So how do you get yourself out of that failed business and try again?
Honestly, it doesn't take any effort. After you've done it a few times, but the first time is the worst. Especially if you succeeded the first try and then fail,
It's going to be harder.
you think that's it. It's game over for you. But the thing about it's like falling off a horse. If you don't get back up, you probably will never do it again. The more time that passes since you've fallen, the more difficult it is to get back on again. So, in my opinion, if you stop, if you say, yeah, I had a hard day, I need a breather, that's probably the wrong attitude to it. But hey, that works for me. I don't know. But at least for me, whenever I actually interface a huge failure, I just think, okay, I'm still here. It didn't take me away. I mean, we create businesses and money. It doesn't create us. And we can start over again. If you look at all the startups I started, I've adopted the concept of fail fast, always. And because it helps you to get back on the horse again, per se. So out of 24 ventures I started, I actually had 9 liquidations. Out of the 9 liquidations or exits, you can call them, only 3 I actually considered successful. The 6,
Based on what? Why would you say they're successful and the others weren't?
they're still ongoing and they're going big. I was able to return 40 plus X to my investors. The other 6, I was able to do 2 or 3X to my investors. 2 or 3X in venture is return, but it's not good return, honestly speaking. It depends also on the market and the vertical, but if you're doing like SaaS that is saturated, then probably 4x is 2 to 4x is okay. For what I do deep tech only, and I've been always doing only deep tech. So if you're doing deep tech, you actually, 4x is not good money.
So you turned over a greater return, and that's what classified it for you as a success.
Yes, but also the continuity of the business. So is it still on, or did it integrate with the company and made it better? Did the product actually pan out to the values that it was created for? Or was it something evil that I didn't want to create at the beginning? So those sort of things is actually what I think my criteria for success. Plus, if you look at all the people that were on all these teams, are they still there? Or do they hate my guts? So that's something I really care about a lot. And of course, I've hired over the years, more than, I think, 12,000 people.
Wow.
So I can assure you that a lot of them will look at this camera and tell you, this guy is full of it and he's the devil, And that's fine, but it's bound to happen to everyone. If you're going to put yourself out there, you will step on somebody by mistake, even if you don't intend it. And I kind of feel sorry about it, but I don't know how to avoid it. So when I have an exit, I can't really, for example, assure that things will go as great as it was when they joined the company. So they feel betrayed. They feel that, the founder is a sellout. And it probably is true. But I prefer to also service my investors and shareholders. It's a duty, not just legally speaking, even morally. Finding a job, you can go and find another job if you don't like this one.
Yeah, but you can't be liked by everybody. And
Yeah.
if you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. So I think on that level, you have to do what's right for you. And again, it's
100%.
based on your values. As long as you're not stepping on people intentionally, it's part of the process, I think. And I think at the end of the day, you have to think about the end goal. And yes, not everyone's going to have an amazing image of you if you are selling and you are exiting, but that's part of the game.
I mean, if we're all being honest here, nobody's really perfect. And we all have, even people in our family that we don't like, they don't like us. But people choose peace over truth most of the time. Sometimes it's wise to do so if you don't have to deal with them. But to lie about it or be a hypocrite, I think that's a very low thing to do as well. Like to act excited about seeing somebody that you don't like or somebody that you don't care for. I think that's really cheap, and I don't think that valuable things could come from cheap people.
Yeah, that's a whole podcast on its own, Jamil. I can honestly, that's a level of understanding that not everyone has. And integrity, authenticity, these values, I think, are being very brushed under the carpet as it's not important. But I think that's the energy that you sense. And sometimes people are very good at masking it. But it just makes you better at seeing through the BS, I think, and then understanding who is with you and who is toxic to stay away from.
Then it's annoying
Yeah.
for others because it seems like you're pompous, or I'm pompous, So it does feel like I'm taking a high road
Yeah.
or over my high horse, and especially that I've wronged some people for sure. I mean, again, you can't make cake without making some eggs, and yeah, I truly do feel sorry and apologize for anybody I probably wronged. I can't make it right all the time.
Yeah.
I'm human at the end of the day. But yeah, it's quite annoying when you talk about it and people can actually catch you on occasions where I have actually wronged them. And that is, a point in time that I can't go back and fix.
You can only accept it, apologize for it, and hope that they will be able to see past it.
Yeah, debatable, but yeah.
Yeah, true. So, Jamil, I need to wrap up, even though I want to continue this conversation for a good hour. I wanted to ask you if you can share what's been your proudest moment as a founder so far?
Don't have one.
What now?
Honestly, don't have one.
Your proudest moment?
Honestly, don't have one.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. I've learned really early on that pride, ego, worth two things. Ever. Don't be happy with what you do. A, you didn't do it alone. B, there was a lot of luck helping you doing it. C, what is the value of that pride? I'm cautiously happy whenever we have a milestone or a breakthrough because I don't want to get high on my own Kool-Aid, I don't know what does pride give us. Any pride, for that matter, by the way, not just in what we do, and like entrepreneurs.
I think it's a sense of satisfaction, or that, let's say, for example, you are building or you're leading a community and you're cultivating that essence of keep going, have that hope alive. And if you are proud to say, like, for example, if you're leading an evening with the Ohe group, right? And you're having those pitches show up and you're getting people to roast them. In my view, every week, for the way I see it, it's a moment of pride for you. Just be proud of the fact that you're bringing these people together. You're giving them the strength to get up there and not be afraid of being torn apart by the pitch that they've just presented.
But then I just take the action of people carrying themselves to put themselves out there and attributing that to myself as a success, which is unfair.
I don't think it's you as a success. I think it's you creating the platform, you're creating the space that people can say, you know what, I want to be there, I want to show up, and I'm given the chance to showcase my startup, showcase my pitch.
I'll tell you what my opinion, which probably is unpopular, I think pride is a very negative, evil, and sinful
Ooh.
emotion, in my
Okay.
opinion, except if you carry it for others. So I can be proud of you for creating this, for doing this, for attracting amazing energy of a lot of amazing people. But if it's internal or self-reflected, I believe it's actually quite negative. I don't think it's healthy.
Interesting point of view. You've now just opened something in my mind that I'm going to go and look at that internally and see how much do I resonate with that.
So when somebody says that they're proud, it's, to me, people accept it because they are externally pointing it out, but I believe it's almost narcissist to actually be proud.
yeah, this I
Yeah.
also agree. I think it is a narcissistic.
Although
Outlook,
we
yes.
use it, but do we actually know this feeling? We use this word that I'm proud of me, but do we actually mean it? I think, okay, semantics, but generally speaking, I'm sorry that like I'm being hard, maybe, or difficult on this.
No, it's your
but
point of
yeah,
view.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for me, I just think that it's interesting anyone's point of view. I'm looking, that's an interesting point of view. And then I want to look at, I'm not judging it, I'm just looking and saying, I didn't think of it. I mean, I know that it's the same as saying being selfish is negative or failure is a negative word.
Actually,
in your
being
view,
selfish is not that
it's
negative.
not negative in
Yeah.
my view.
There's
but
a
to
very
a lot
nice
it is.
book about it, actually. It's called The Virtue of Selfishness. It's by Ayn Rand. It's a very shocking book. I don't agree with everything in the book, of course, but there is a lot of mind and eye-opening stuff. Selfishness sometimes is actually more fair to everyone else.
Yeah, I think we just have to reframe certain things that have been projected a very negative impression and see how it resonates with us.
Yeah.
And make it work for us instead of be fearful of being attached to this word or label it or whatever it might be. Oh my God, Jamil, thank you. Thank you for just sharing, just having a conversation with me, opening up, and your insights, like I knew they would be, are thought-provoking, eye-opening, mind-opening, as you said. And I know that this has just been a teaser for me because I could easily spend, like we did last night, just to get to know you on a different level. I love getting like that
Thank
insight.
you. I'm humbled. And it's a lovely day. The weather's beautiful.
It is.
So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And it's been really nice talking to you today.
Thank you. Thank you for opening up. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys found a lot of interesting points of view that maybe you can have a little bit of self-reflection. And honestly, I'm sure you agree with me. He is just a minefield of... He's an enigma. That's the only word I can use to express that he has so much vision. He has so much energy.
I'm like an onion.
You're an onion.
Yeah, with layers and smell.
I'm going to leave it on that note because I have no comeback to that. So thank you for being an onion and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We've got one more episode of the Step Edition, so hang in there. We're going to bring that to you in a few minutes. Take care.